What up, gamers? Fencer here, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So last time, we did a reflection part 1 and 2. In this video, I guess we'll be finishing off, the main unlockable side stories with self-love part 1 and 2. And then from what I saw when I looked it up on how many parts there is, apparently there's like one more once you complete all of these. And that's like, I guess, the final, the final story to wrap everything up here. But yeah, let's go do it, guys. Let's see what self-love is all about. I think this is pretty much like a continuation from Reflection Part 1 and 2. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel more anxious, Yuri picked the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no students would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day, and then, I'm gonna guess, Sayuri appears. Oh no. I thought about her too, but I thought maybe it'll be too soon for Natsuki to like appear. I feel like, maybe Sayori would appear, and then later on we'll get that confrontation with Natsuki and Yuri. But Eep. What are you doing here? I just Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink that I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seem to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool, it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. At least, she's making an attempt now. That, it's just, I guess, try to, I don't know how you say it. Just try not to come off as like, I guess condescending to like, I guess, Yuri's personality. Even though for me, like, I guess if people were to say that to me, I just really don't care. I know they're talking more about the actual subject rather than the person themselves. Like, unless they actually directly say that the people are bad, then yeah. I think that's kind of messed up. Or rather, they say, like, the subject, the topic is more, messed up. I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Now, despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up, while her empty drink bottle, Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Okay, while those transitions, while there's transitions, let me clear my throat really quick. Right, I'm good. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around a corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this, because there aren't any people around here. Oh? I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. I have a feeling that, things will improve, but then when they have to talk about the subject, that's when things will go haywire again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. Oh yeah, they're trying to avoid it, but I think once they confront that issue, that's when things will get more serious. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assume I stopped reading manga after I joined a literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want to come up again after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. Yeah, just like Yuri. And Sayori. But that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful. Especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already, if you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Yeah, she mentioned that before too. Since middle school, actually, I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes, I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Yeah, one thing I forgot to say that, I didn't really mention is that, they're pretty much similar. It's just that, from each other's, I guess, interests and stuff, they're kind of condescending about it. But I would say for Natsuki, she is, in my opinion, more chill about, just getting those opinions, while Yuri, I feel like, maybe is more sensitive about it. My dog wants to go in. There we go. Wow. That was a creepy face I made. I just saw my VTuber model. What the heck? What was that? I was screaming into the void. I didn't mean to do that. I was just opening the door. I didn't really make that face in real life. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank gosh I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I get a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now, we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks at the other way before lifting her arm, doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, as though it was a really funny joke. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't know why I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep on going up about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour, but the whole time Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regrets over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day passes. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly noticed a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that is a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please, don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay, thank you. You can take me after I figure out how to do something else, or do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me of how I haven't been able to get along with my friends lately. Oh my. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand everyone around me to change. But, yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, even though she's rambling, I was about to say that, you know, like, Yuri enjoys listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yeah, she's been doing that. Yes. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Yeah, Natsuki is way more careful about her words now. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's really fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So? Are all of those things that important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everybody in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori really likes her baking. and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Eh. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't judge people like that. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and, measures who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. My dog wants to go out. Probably annoyed by my reading. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry about me, so much about me. I mean, if it's like just fun, like making fun of each other, I feel like it's fine. You know, like it's more understandable with friends compared to like maybe strangers about it, unless that's like the vibe of maybe the group that you're trying to chat with. It's not worth it. Unless with Natsuki here, like maybe she does take it personally. She's just trying to hide it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. Like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want to help, but sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong, and they're all like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't like to talk a lot would make a good listener. You know, I've been talking more, I feel like, as Natsuki. Now that she mentions it. Thank you. You're also nice. Eh. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive. Like, I want to be a part of it. I'm like that too with like video games. Mainly the open world RPGs, stuff like the Bethesda games. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to the following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it and have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So, in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. And I would say with this side story so far, it also does that too, in a very good way. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people, like all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah, me too. Really? Mm hmm. A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Oh, there we go. That was it for that. Part 2, let's go finish this off, guys. And then we'll spend time in the next video to be finished with everything. Hey! Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share them too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown, with dark green frosting immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. Ah, I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Oh, I didn't know that. I guess that makes sense. The wallpaper that it chose for Monica does reflect that. It's a green wallpaper. Oh wow, that means I can just even see their favorite color if I look through their wallpapers, like on the desktop, the in-game desktop. Well, yeah, but that's not really. Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. Oh wow. Does she make the tea? I love green tea. Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I want to try, so. Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when. Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice, and this is something I want to be. Something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. It returns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked it anyway. It's like baking is like art, but when you get so good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would be just eaten afterwards. Maybe you're too practical for it. I think I'd prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now, when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides over to Yuri's feet. She stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, but I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it away from you. I take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pours from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to keep them through. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. It's so difficult. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. If I knew I tried in the club, Sayuri and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. Hey, this is about self-love. And this is where we're getting probably to the resolution of it. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So, I understand if some of that through my own experience, and that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Yeah. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around, and you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh, and you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead, and you care a lot about other people, and just a lot of things. Oh, my dog wants to go in. There we go. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses, stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy, and I still would feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. No matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. Uh, it really goes everything against I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy that is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace that with what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared that they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fists. Is she about to, like, fight them? Like, I don't know. That'll be kind of funny if, like, she suggests that to, like, confront her friends. And then if her friends, like, want to fight, you're just gonna come in, just start punching, throwing some punches. Natsuki. What? If anyone thinks to cause you harm, I'm gonna stab them with my knife collection. I'm gonna be throwing all my knives. Oh, okay, there we go. I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh, well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation laps, Natsuki slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Ah, you're here first today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading material. Mm-hmm. Mitsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Hey, just like this right now. Like it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. It's kind of funny how she's talking about this now, because like we're pretty much near the end. And yeah, that's what pretty much it feels like whenever you finish up a series. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of the series. I mean, we're also on the last side story. But also, you know, like I said, from what I've heard, there's like one more to go. That will be unlocked after this. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I want to let it... I'd want it to go on forever. Yeah, that is true. Like, sometimes some series, they might go on for way too long where the quality just, you know, isn't the same anymore. Like, the magic is gone. That's why I feel like with some other shows and series. Like, I'm trying to think of one right now, but I kind of forgot. Because, like, I feel like I kind of forgot about them. Oh, like with the Walking Dead and stuff. Like, I feel like that series, like, it had a pretty good time, but then after so many seasons, and also just after many spin-offs, like, I feel like it's like been diluted, I guess. Like, even though I do want to see it go on, I think, you know, the more time you spend with it, it just feels like, oh man. I mean, especially since you get it like every year, like it's always every year when that series comes on. Like, maybe they should take a break every now and then. But at the same time, I don't like that too sometimes, because sometimes I just forget like what happened before. Like, a part of me likes that they release every year, just to keep it fresh in my mind. But at the same time, like if it goes for too long, like I just forget everything. I know I could just rewatch it, but if it's like a series, like like with like a that has like many seasons, sometimes I don't feel like I want to watch all of them again because like that's like way too long. I'd rather like rewatch movies than rewatch an entire season or seasons, maybe. But there are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Oh yeah, that's just what I that's just what I talked about. But you know what? It is interesting though, because like I guess when it comes to anime, I haven't really been I haven't really watched a lot of the ones that have like double digits in like the I guess in the seasons, like with stuff like with like One Piece or Naruto. Like I've watched them, but usually it's like the first couple of seasons, and it's really impressive. Or even like something like Dragon Ball too. Like it's really impressive how like sometimes I would be on like X or Twitter, and then I would see like I think the last time I saw like One Piece was trending because I think Luffy got like a new form or something, and like it's still like relevant too. Like people are still excited. So yeah, that's like amazing to see that it's still like relevant to this day. You know? Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing that I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something so good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plots until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. Oh yeah, she said she goes out, like just to take like maybe walks, maybe or something like that, in the park. It really depends on her mood, I think she said. I don't really meet with friends or arbit arbitrary arbitrarily spend time with them. Spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Oh, she has a board game group? Board game group? Does she play like D&D? I mean, I guess that makes sense because D&D is like more like you can get also immersed into that and just have a fun time because it is like a make your own story type thing as well. So I can see Yuri being into that. But this is surprising too because we never really heard about her being into I guess maybe stuff like that. If that is like D&D. It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. What do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Oh yeah, it's a very different like it's like a whole new I guess interest for Yuri that I just did not consider. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she is shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier, telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... So yeah, she went through with it. Don't worry, you got Yuri. She has a knife collection. And she will use it against others. I'm sorry. Totally unsure what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusual hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick. I want to hit my head against things. Please help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more, although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders. She can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. So I guess it'll be like... I'm guessing like that. That's good, let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki feels Natsuki rest more of her weight onto Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined to not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then, she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want, drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just did it like a burp. My bad if you heard that. I know a good ice cream place, please. Please. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you had no idea. Wow, that's a cool, recall back then. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Yeah, just seeing small stuff like that, I feel like, it makes a lot of the dialogue feel more meaningful. I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but... Oh, it's a good guess. But my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry is my favorite. Hmm, what a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach. But it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I can be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. But he already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I used to be treated. And the kind of friends I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me. Oh, I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I'm guessing Monica told her where Yuri might be. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori. Oh, it was Sayori. That's... And yeah, speaking of them, like, we haven't seen Sayori or Monica this entire time. Like, usually all of them make an appearance, but so far it's just been Natsuki and Yuri. I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, like... Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage, even if it was your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now, but I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continued their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another Literature Club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend will be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Hey, there we go. Yeah, that was a good ending. But like, I think we got one more right, unless I'm wrong. Yeah, there we go, equals. So yeah, let me put on some music. Some happy time music here. But yeah, no mail this time. Okay. I know sometimes we get mail, but I guess this time that we didn't. Yeah, that was very interesting. No appearances of Monica. Oh yeah, speaking of Monica, we talked about their favorite colors, right? So I do want to see them, so Monica is green. Yuri is blue. Natsuki is pink, of course. And I guess Sayori is light blue? I can't tell if that's like purple or blue. But it looks like maybe just like light blue and dark blue. And I'm not sure, is it like based on their eye color? Because I know she has green eyes. Let me just actually press on them. Well, this one looks more blue than her purple eyes. Yeah, she has pink eyes. She has blue eyes. I'm guessing it's kind of like trying to reflect the eye color, but Yuri is a bit more blue than purple. But I'm also guessing that their eye color, or I guess, the wallpaper color as well, may be their favorite colors. But yeah, that's cool. Anyway, guys, yeah, that was it for this video. That was Self-Love Part 1 and 2. Next time, we'll be finishing the whole thing with Equals, which, yeah, man. Then after this, I'll be watching the game theories on this channel about this game. I do want to watch it. Because, like, you know, after playing the main game, I've been watching, the, you know, reactions again to, like, other people playing this game. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, just seeing, like, all the jump scares from other people. That's what I used to watch back then. And now I'm just redoing it again. Yeah, just I've been getting back into this game again, man. Like it feels pretty good to like just see, you know, let's plays more often now because I don't do it now much nowadays. Only for like maybe certain games like Skyrim. I like seeing people play Skyrim for the first time, but now I'm also doing that with this game too. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for now. That's a game.